of Somalia. Well, let's speak to Zakaria Mahmoud Abdi. Are you as convinced that this was genuinely in the interest of the Somali people? Because to have Ban Ki-moon from the United Nations, Hillary Clinton from the United States, 55 either government leaders or senior representatives of a variety of government organizations and institutions, it sounds impressive, it sounds like there's real concern, but do you have your doubts?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I think let's first highlight the balance sheet of where the conference succeeded and where it failed. First, militarization of the Somali situation was number one, whereby Ethiopia, Kenya, Ugandan forces are in the country.
12,000 troops going up to 18,000?
Their leaders were here.
Yep.
Including Zenawi, who the Somalis regard him as a war criminal, who have actually committed crimes against humanity by killing over 50,000 Somalis in 2006-2009. This obviously will lead to another crisis. The Somalis read this as an occupation of their country. The second point is focusing symptoms rather than root causes of the problem, like piracy, terrorism. This is not the real cause of Somalia's problem.
What is the cause?
The Somalia's problem is a political problem. Somalia needs to be reconciled by itself. Somalia needs a political dialogue. Somalia needs political settlement. There is no military solution for Somalia's problem. But it has been for the last 21 years. There have been always an attempt to have a military solution, and it never ever got off the ground. Actually, it became counterproductive.
But as we heard from Mr. Farhan Ali Ahmed, the West turned its back on Somalia, so Somalia was left to itself. And let me finish the point. As we've seen since 1991, we've seen factionalization, we've seen unilateral declarations of independence from Somaliland, we've seen self-governing province Puntland, and we've seen the rest of the country slide into chaos. It appears if Somalis cannot do it for themselves, it needs help from outside.
No, I'm telling you, this is not true. The West has been around since the collapse of the Somali state. The neighboring countries were around since the collapse of the Somali state.
Ethiopia, Kenya.
They were actually meddling the affairs of the Somali people. They were all the time, when the Somalis tried to have a local solution, they used to intervene and make it failure. Now, to continue for the conference's success and what I call the balance sheet of the conference, exclusion of the Somalis. I mean, the conference was highly selective. It was highly selective by picking up 5 groups who are almost all failed. 5 Somali groups, where the credible Somalis and genuine Somalis have not been invited in the conference.
Why weren't they invited, do you think? Were you not invited?
They were only from one side, those who are very docile to the external intervention of Somalia. But those who are critical for that, and those who differ the idea, i.e. the nationalist or the patriot group, have not been given accommodation.
Well, let me put that